Alright guys, it's a day later than I expected. I realized that in my latest move, I had actually lost some parts to my review setup. So, here we go. Here's the new review that I promised. First random review, short one. Like I said, we are actually going to focus on some Power Rangers stuff. This is the new Power Rangers Megazord, the new Mega Force Gosei Great Megazord. I do not remember which Sentai series this is based off of, what it was called. I do know that there were some differences. I know that in the American version, which I have been watching, say what you will about that, the heads, which I will show you one of these now, just so you know what I'm talking about. The heads, the animal heads, which are called headers in the Japanese version, are just called Zords in the English version. Even though the Zord should technically be the whole thing. I know this particular figure is not the exact same figure they got in Japan. I know all of these things. I still love the figure. I saw a couple episodes of the Sentai series. I really liked it. I've seen a couple episodes of the American series. Don't like it as much because, frankly, being an American, it's harder for me to tell when a Japanese person can't act. So, I don't know. It's... Well, I mean, you guys have seen Power Rangers, I'm sure. If you've been alive in the last, 25 years or something, I'm sure you've seen at least an episode of Power Rangers, so you know what I'm talking about. The acting is very hit or miss. The storylines are kind of simple. I still love it, especially the Zords. I love the Zords. And I just love these Zords. We're going to pan a little bit so you can see the whole thing. Do the other side. And as you guys can see, I actually do have like a real reviewing setup now. I'm kind of impressed with myself. And for those of you who don't know what Power Rangers are and what Super Sentai is, it's basically teamwork embodied in a television series. It's a bunch of kids working together in spandex suits with magic powers, fighting monsters or aliens or whatever. And the teamwork is such a big feature that even their fighting vehicles can work together and form a giant robot, a Megazord, or what are they called in the Japanese? Mecha, I think it's called, which makes sense. Now, this is the combined form, the Gosei Great Megazord, which is simply called Gosei Great in the Japanese, I believe. I'm not going to get into differences between this and the Japanese version, because frankly, I don't know all of them anyway. And I don't have the Japanese version to compare. I'm just going to show you the Zord itself. So transformation, very simple. Anyone who's ever owned a Power Rangers toy will know this. The arms detach. You can see. Now it's an adorable little shark. Then you fold the wings up on the other arm. You have this little eagle jet plane thing. Next, the torso detaches. You can see that's what we get. Fold out the wings, detach the head, slide out the neck. That was not supposed to happen. Now you see there's that port there. That's important. We're going to take what was the sword. Once it focuses. Come on. There you go. We're going to open it up. Snap the head in there. Close it. And I will say right now, that is one thing I do know is different from the Japanese version. I just completely dropped that. Sorry about that. I do know that's different from the Japanese version. This is one big solid piece on the Japanese version. In fact, I believe it's a lot bigger. And the head itself actually rotates down into the body. Anyway, plug the tail in. Big honkin' dragon. Let's see if I can get all of him. He's not the first dragon we've gotten in Power Rangers or Sentai. And he's not the first red dragon either. And he's definitely not my favorite, but I still really like him. You can see paint apps are very nice on these things. Anyway, moving on. Next you have the legs. Take one leg off. You can see it's got kind of a tiger head there. Flip the head down. And that's it. That's really it. I'm not joking. This one though is very cool. This whole other piece, see this is a solid piece here. You fold it out, and you fold the head down, and you have a snake. That is the first snake we've ever gotten with Power Rangers or Super Sentai, I believe. He's a pretty cool looking snake. Each one of these is actually an animal combined with a vehicle. You can see little windows on the side of this guy because he is also a train. He is. This is a good time. This is as good a time as any. Enunciation to show you guys the headers. See, this is the snake itself. This is what is actually the snake. And then it attached to the front of a train and Ching. That's the Zord. It's a little cheesy, but yeah. That's all the Zords. Let me show these guys off a little bit because they're pretty cool. You can see them down there, all lined up together. I like them personally. There's really not much more to this guy. I already showed you the dragon header. Each one of these, the head does detach and become its own header. And one thing that's pretty unique about this particular series is that each of the headers is its own separate creature, almost like a mechanical creature that can aid the Power Rangers or the I don't know what they're called in Sentai now that I think about it. Despite the fact that I have seen it a few times. The characters in Sentai, I'm just blanking, guys. I'm sure if I ever get a comment or someone will tell me. Anyway, they are separate creatures that can aid the Rangers in combat. We have a shark. I love the shark. And they eventually receive more headers as the series progresses. And in fact, you'll see there are ports on the wings, plural, of the dragon. Pretty sure my cell phone just went off. Completely unrelated though. Moving on. There are ports on the wings of the dragon, and you'll see, like here on yellow, there's a port where the knee would be, and there's a port where the shoulder would be on pink or white or whatever that's supposed to be. Pretty sure it's pink. And I'll give you a shot of the dragon because I like him. Eventually more headers would show up in the series, and they would combine with that. And there are toys of them out. They combine into this big honking combo robot thingy. I like them well enough. They're okay. I don't know that I'm actually going to buy them. They're being sold in individual sets, broken down far more than they actually need to be. And it's like, it would cost me, I think I figured out it would be like $70 to complete my collection. And that's on top of like the 30 that I spent on this. I like the design. I'm not sure I like it that much. But there you go, guys. I didn't talk about articulation this time. Because there really isn't any. Sentai figures don't have articulation traditionally, except in the shoulders. But yeah, I like them. If you like Power Rangers, if you like Sentai, if you're on the fence about these, forgot to mention his little crest moves. I love that. I just love the dragon. I'm going to show you guys the dragon again. I just love the dragon. So gold and silvery. He's got such good paint apps for an American Sentai toy. Nah, I love this guy. But yeah. Anyway, if you like Sentai, you like Power Rangers, and you're on the fence about these guys, especially after seeing the fiasco that was the Samurai series toys, I will put your apprehension to rest right now and just say this is a good set. It's not 100% faithful. It's not 100% faithful to the Japanese series set, but it's good enough that you are going to enjoy it if you didn't have the money to pick up the Japanese set, or if you just want a nostalgia kick or whatever, go for it. Because honestly, guys, I know a lot of people complained about this series when it came out because the transformations were pretty simple. Go back to the early ones. The transformations were pretty dead simple then, too. Don't complain. It's a good set. It looks good. The paint apps didn't have to be this good. Like, that gold on the wings, right there, 2 years ago, the American toy wouldn't have had that. We would have been lucky if it had even had any pink on it. I mean, they skimp on paint apps all the time here for these kinds of toys. We're lucky we got such a good set, and it should be enjoyed. So my recommendation is pick this thing up. I doubt you'll regret it.